There's been a lot made about the whole kind of cutbacks that are going on in society at the moment and how that may affect the Olympic legacy. Have you got any major worries about that at this stage?
I must admit, I always felt as though the Olympic legacy was something which it will be difficult to measure and difficult to deliver. To be fair, and a lot of work's been done around that. And I think it's more of a it'll take a long time for us to actually realise whether there has been any effect. It won't be in 2013 or 2014, and so actually the current kind of recession cutbacks are not going to impact really in that sense. I think what we have to do though is be ready for the surge in interest. All of the Olympic sports have to be on the front foot so that if any youngsters or whatever become inspired by what they see and they want to go and be a taekwondo player, or they want to get in a canoe and do whitewater canoeing, whatever, that you have the facilities, you've got the coaches, the clubs are ready, that we're sort of waiting for them to come. So I think it's about being prepared for the interest, and that's something which we haven't always been able to do that, but it's a huge opportunity, and then build on that, and that's when your legacy will happen, maybe 8-10 years after.
And of course, one of those people who may inspire kids is Usain Bolt at the moment. Now, he said he's not coming over here to race at Crystal Palace due to the tax regime. What do you make of that whole case?
If I knew as much about tax as I do about athletics, I could probably answer that. I think people are trying to resolve it. It's something which obviously affects golfers, tennis players, and I think there's been resolutions found in the past. I think this one's cropped up a little bit late, which is a bit surprising, because I know Usain was contracted to run in London quite a while ago, so why he's suddenly maybe looked at the small print, and this has been obviously highlighted then, I hope it can be resolved. And I think we want to make sure that the best sports people come to these shores to compete, whether it's play football or run around a running track, and we've got to find ways of making sure they pay their taxes like all of us do, but do it in a way which isn't going to penalise them to the extent that they don't want to come back.
And of course, another world star who's making her comeback is Caster Seminya. What have you made of that whole state of affairs since last year's impressive performance in Berlin?
I'm delighted she's back for her. You never want to see any athlete being denied the chance to compete. I thought it was terribly handled by her federation right from the outset. I mean, some of us who were kind of a bit closer to it knew there was an issue brewing. IWF tried to deal with it before we got to Berlin. Her federation weren't interested, threw her very much into a bit of a dragon's den, really, and without really having the answers that people were going to, questions were going to ask. But she's an athlete, and she's entitled to go and run and compete, and it's taken a while for this situation to be resolved, thankfully in her favour. So good luck to her. She'll probably not run that well, because I know she's not all that fit apparently, but she'll get fit again, and she'll be, she'll, in many ways, she will bring more attention to the sport, and people will watch the sport because of her notoriety to some extent. But she will provide an undoubted challenge to the other 800-metre runners, including our own Jenny Meadows, Gemma Simpson, and the rest of them. But they'll relish that.
Just a quick word on your beloved Sunderland. The new Premier League season is fast approaching. What do you predict will happen this year?
Well, last year I said top 10. We kind of still had a chance last game of the season and missed out on that. I think it was slightly frustrating last year. We had a horrible patch in the middle. I think Steve's still doing a great job, and with Quinny there, it's a good partnership. We are in the market for new players, and we'll have to wait and see exactly how that settles down. But I think we'll do all right again next year. It's difficult now to break into that. It used to be a 4, didn't it? And now you've got Tottenham and Man City in their big spending clubs, and you're probably talking about a top 6 that's difficult to break into, if not 7 or 8. But I still think we can aspire to be top 10.
Newcastle back in the Premier League, so that'll add a dose of spice.
Yeah, we were looking forward to October the 31st and January the 15th. See, it doesn't matter at all to us. To have Newcastle back is big for the North East. We need, to be fair, all 3 clubs in the Premiership and doing well. Not always fighting relegation. It would be great to see all of us in there scrapping with each other. We all feed off each other, and we have a lot of fun and a lot of banter with it. Of course we do, but I think deep down we miss those games. Those games generate so much excitement. The derby games are getting people interested in football who wouldn't normally be. So as long as we win, then everybody's happy.